Also, seid bereit.
Hey, Dutchies, Doug back at you with a new Your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. I have to apologize. I haven't been making as many of these videos as I have in the past. As many of you probably know, if you follow the channel or our social media feed, I've really been concentrating on our words of the week. I've been getting tons of really positive feedback about that. If you enjoy the words of the week, let me know. Or if you have ideas for words that you want highlighted in words of the week, let me know for sure. Also, I've really been concentrating a lot on our PA Dutch Live, our monthly live stream that we have right here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't seen one of those yet, I have a playlist on the YouTube channel with 3 years worth of previous episodes, maybe even now 4 years. I don't quite remember. Every month, I welcome a guest on and we talk about some topic related to Pennsylvania Dutch, language, culture, history. And I really enjoy producing those shows. I think they got some great content there. So please check that out. And therefore, I haven't been concentrating on doing some of these types of videos. And I recently received an email from a subscriber to the channel that said, Doug, my allergies are through the roof this spring. And I said, as I was reading the email, me too. I suffer from seasonal allergies, particularly when the trees start blooming and all that yellow pollen starts flying around. Boy, I had a couple really bad days there where it was pretty rough. But anyway, this person, the subscriber, said, please do a video with some words associated with allergies. And they gave me a couple words that they definitely wanted to learn. I said, absolutely, it's a great idea. I just apologize that this video is coming out in this late in May when maybe most of us are already over our seasonal allergies, hopefully. But anyway, these are great words to know. And of course, when seasonal allergy season rolls around next year, now you'll have these words in your back pocket, so to speak. And there are some great Pennsylvania Dutch words coming at you here in this video. So let's dive right in. We got some words associated with allergies. Not fun, I know. All right, here we go. Well, first off, we don't really have a word for allergy in Pennsylvania Dutch. Even in standard German, it's very similar to this. So I'm using the English word because that's what we would say. Although I do have it spelled in more of a Germanic style instead of ending in a Y, I have it in IE. But we would just say the allergy. I would say that too. You know, if I was speaking Pennsylvania, oh, my allergies sind wirklich Schlechtheit. My allergies are really bad today. So this is an easy word. It's just like the English, the allergy, because we just don't have a specific Pennsylvania Dutch word associated with the word allergy. So that's an easy one. The next one, Eso Fever. Eso Fever, which a lot of people do refer to seasonal allergies as hay fever, literally hay, hoy, fever, fever. So that's another pretty easy one to say, Eso Fever, Eso Fever. Our next one now, okay. So I have to be completely honest here. So the word for pollen, again, we don't have I checked a couple different dictionaries to see if there was a word that I never heard growing up. As a kid growing up, I always just heard the English word pollen. So I've given that to pollen, and I took the gender based on the gender of what it is in standard German. It's masculine in standard German, so I use masculine here. But then I also thought about, well, what if we wanted to create a Pennsylvania Dutch word? I know I'm totally like creating the language here, and this is a word that I'm essentially offering to the greater Pennsylvania Dutch community. You can either say, no way, Doug, we're not using that word, or not, and that's fine. And that's da Bliestaub, which literally translates into blie, comes from the verb blien, to bloom. So blooming or bloom, and Staub is the word for dust in Pennsylvania Dutch. So bloom dust, which to me is what pollen is, right? It's that dust coming off of the blooms of trees or plants or flowers or weeds. So I made that word up. You want to use it, great. I'm gonna start using it. I kind of like it. Da Bliestaub. It's fun. But you could just say da pollen. Da pollen. You can even say it like an English pollen. I just get feel pollen high. There's a lot of pollen in the air or whatever. Your choice. Bliestaub, pollen. If you use Bliestaub, say, hey, thanks, Doug. Great word. The one that we definitely need to know, the verb to sneeze, is Nissa. Nissa. And I've had this as a word of the week at some point over the years. It's just a good word to know, to sneeze. Nissa. It's a regular verb, so you would use it and conjugate it like all verbs conjugate in Pennsylvania Dutch. So if you were going to say like I sneeze, ich nies. Ich nies. Or ich muss niese, I have to or I must sneeze. Okay, so that's Nissa, to sneeze. Excuse me. So when you're sneezing a lot, and especially, boy, this was really rough for me, my nose would not shut off. As my grandfather used to say, my nose is walking. I know in English we say you have a runny nose, but I don't know. My grandfather always said his nose was walking, and I always like that phrase. I use that in English too now as an homage to my grandfather. But the word for snot is rotz, and you've probably heard that before. Maybe as a kid you were called a rotzer. And a Rotzer is like in English, we'd say a little snot, like a snot-nosed kid. We have the same idea in Pennsylvania Dutch too, a Rotzer, but actually that's what you would call somebody. But the word for snot itself, or the fluid coming out of the nose, that is rots. Snot. Isn't that an ugly word in English? It's kind of, I mean, rots is kind of an ugly sounding word too, though. So da rots is that liquid coming out of your nose. And I know that in standard German, they don't say this, but in Pennsylvania Dutch, I think this is just the English influence. This is what I heard growing up. They took the English phrase blow your nose, and we would just say it in Pennsylvania Dutch, die Nosblose, die Nosblose, the nose blow, die Nosblose. Ich muss my nose blow. I must blow my nose, or I must my nose blow, because we know the Pennsylvania Dutch word order is different from English. In standard German, it's more of clean. You clean your nose, you don't blow your nose. But in Pennsylvania Dutch, and probably maybe years and years and years and years ago, maybe originally was the standard style German where you did clean your nose. But I grew up hearing people using the English phrase, but translate directly into Pennsylvania Dutch. Maybe you did too. Let me know if you would have said die Nosbutze, which would be to clean your nose, or if you said, or if your grandparents said die Nosblose. I'd be curious to know what you guys. So if you grew up hearing Pennsylvania Dutch, or you remember your grandparents or your parents using this phrase, let me know which phrase you learned growing up, or you heard growing up. Put it in the comment section down below. Did you hear die Nosblose? That's what I heard growing up. Or did you hear die Nosbutze, to clean your nose? I'd be curious to know that. And I think I have one more word. Yes. And I know two more. I got two more coming at you. So a lot of times with allergies, your eyes get itchy. Mine did again. This year was really bad. Gretzig is itchy. You might say, wait, Doug, I thought Gretz was to complain. Gretz and Grexen does mean to complain, but Gretzig is itchy, or something that feels like biting is Gretzig. So if your eyes are itchy, oh, mine, oh, Gretz, my eyes are itching or itchy. Now, this last word, you know how Pennsylvania Dutch and people that have studied German know this too. Like the Germanic languages have these beautiful ways of coming up with one word for these really that takes us in English maybe a bunch of words to describe. We have a lot of words in Pennsylvania Dutch like that, and this is one that I had to include in this list because it's so great. And that is Schnitza. Schnitza is the verb to, and I quote, to blow the nose by pressing a finger against the side of the nostril. You've all done it. Well, I don't know if you've all done it. I did growing up on the farm outside, and you go like this and you blow that snot out. I did it a lot this year with my allergies. My nose was so bad when I was outside, so I would do that. We don't have, not that I'm aware of in English, we don't have just like one word or one term for this, but the Pennsylvania Dutch do. It's the verb Schnitza, to blow the nose by pressing a finger against the side of the nostril. What a great word. Schnitzt, he's blowing his nose by pressing a finger against the side of his nostril. It's so much easier in Dutch. Schnitzt. Or maybe someone's got a really runny nose. You can say, hey, Schneitzmal, blow your nose by pressing your finger against the side of your nostril. What a great word. I hope you enjoy that word. I think it's a great one. Start using it. Maybe your dad or your grandfather, if you grew up on the farm, you'd see them doing that when they were outside. I know I grew up not only seeing it, but doing it, and I still do it. And not in mixed company maybe, but if I'm outside, I'm mowing the grass, and it's really, and I schneitz a lot. Never thought I'd say that in English, but there we go. So there are some words associated with allergies. If you have an idea for a future video like this subscriber did, just shoot me an email, info@padutch101.com. And you say, hey, Doug, I'd really like to have a video on words associated with X. And you let me know, and then send me the words. Say, hey, these are the words I thought of. Send them to me, and I'll get a video made for everybody else to enjoy. We got some good words there. Hopefully you don't suffer from seasonal allergies, but if you do, now you at least can use the Pennsylvania Dutch words when talking about your allergy suffering like I did this year. Till next week, dear friends, check out and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Also, feel free in the links down below, check out our Zazzle shop where you can get PA Dutch themed merch. You can also financially support the channel and all those cool things that we got going on. Of course, also, we have a website. Did you know that? padutch101.com. You can also check out our Zazzle shop, like I said, and you can support us financially by buying me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/Doug Mainford, or become a patron by joining us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/PADutch101. And then finally, follow us, as I said, on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look for @PADutch101. We're going to keep that quality Pennsylvania Dutch content coming to you every month. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get an update or a notification every time a new video drops. Till next time, dear friends, keep practicing your Pennsylvania Dutch. Use these words. They're great. And Max gut.
Moxie, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And schlock that notification bell.